My name is Julie Hamre, and I'm here to talk about the financial blessings enjoyed by the Synod because I'm the Synod Treasurer. Even after a year like the one just passed, our faith tells us that we need to remember the blessings as well as the challenges and the sorrows. It is surprising, perhaps, that as we look back to the work of the Synod in 2020, we find that our financial situation counts as a blessing indeed. Faithful congregations in 2020 maintained their support for Synod activities, and the safety protocols and changes to work lives have resulted in significant savings. The bottom line is that the Synod operations ended the year with a surplus of $50,000, and here's why. Over 98% of the revenue for the operating budget comes from congregational mission support, and despite the challenges of the year, congregations largely met their obligations, giving 90% of the amount that we had budgeted. In accordance with our agreement with the ELCA, 35% of this support is passed along as church-wide benevolence. The Synod fulfilled its budgeted commitments to support La Sagrada Familia, the camps, the campus ministries, the Gifts of Hope program, financial aid to seminarians, and of course, compensation for our staff. It substantially fulfilled the commitment to United Lutheran Seminary and made grants to several congregations. However, there were significant savings in areas such as travel and office operations due to the pandemic restrictions. In addition, for obvious reasons, fewer congregations asked for financial support to begin new ministries. The surplus represents 3.65% of the budget and is a welcome change from past years. In fact, over the past 7 years, operating budgets have realized a loss in excess of $200,000. So this surplus is a start for making up for those deficits. It is important to remember, however, that operating budgets represent only a portion of the financial activity of the Synod. There was additional significant giving for designated purposes beyond regular operations. The New Connections campaign officially ended in June 2020, but faithful congregations and individuals continued to fulfill pledges made during that campaign, and funds were dispersed for those projects. In 2020, the Synod received over $86,000 in contributions and spent more than $165,000 on new ministry starts, renewing congregations, and ministerial coaching. A new initiative, the Disaster Accompaniment Fund, received over $55,000 in support, including $10,000 from the Synod, and expended over $10,000 in response to requests from congregations. Building Puentes funded $27,000 in support of pastors in Puerto Rico. In sum, over $175,000 was raised for designated purposes, and more than $240,000 was distributed. The pandemic meant that the 2021 budget, rather than being voted on by the Synod Assembly 7 months before the start of the year, was adopted by the Synod Council this past January. The Finance Committee and Council were therefore able to learn from the experience of 2020 in developing this budget. Mission support is projected to be just under the amount actually received in 2020. Ministry expenses are budgeted significantly above actual 2020 costs, with a new emphasis on youth ministry, as announced by Bishop Ortiz earlier this year. Administrative expenses, however, are set at a level below 2020, reflecting the significant savings in rent from the relocation of the Synod office and other economies realized from working remotely. An important feature of the 2021 budget is the use of monies received from the Paycheck Protection Program. The Synod received $104,000 from this program during 2020 that will be used to offset expenses in the 2021 budget. My written reports include a chart that summarizes all of this information.